Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode of the Blind Monk Show. I want to do a quick review today of Solana after what we saw yesterday. So, if we recall, yesterday we were discussing here at this level that we were breaking out. So, this candle was forming still when we spoke. And so, it wasn't very convincing at the time because when we were talking, it was at these two candles. And I said that at the moving average, this is where you can be buying, knowing that, you might add a couple of times if you want to be a bit more conservative. If you might wait for it, and then eventually just take your stop loss below here. Worst case scenario, you wait it out all the way to here, which would be really, really painful, but, because you would have bought the top of what could be a range, and you never want to be buying the top of a range. That's quite painful. But, if you bought here, fortunately, this was a very beautiful sign, followed by an impressive one candle that's just like, they bought everything all the way up and then closed, very nicely confirmed, and then just did an upward movement. Here's a quick so yesterday when I was doing a projection of where the price could go, if you remember, I was doing something like this to here. That's not the cleanest. To doing a proper Fibonacci projection, I would do it this way, so we would see that we have at least a target at 255. But here's a more close range target. Like if you were to go long here, you could take your so let me give you like a quick tip here. You jump into Hypothetical candles. And so what you see from Hypothetical candles is you have one leg, and you have a second leg. Here there was a small pullback, which is very convincing pullback because this pullback happens at that area. And it's not like it doesn't really touch, so it's not very, very convincing, but still is a pullback. So what you could do is, first of all, you take from here to here, you get your first, kind of objective. Not very strong. Maybe because I should have put actually the start here. Yeah, that's not the cleanest of legs, but that actually is a single leg. From here to here is a leg, pull back, going to this area, then going up, we come here. But yesterday what we had was from here to this high to the slow. And look at that. Look at that, coming in hot at 243.748, ladies and gentlemen. So this is where you could be putting your target. And if we want to combine this with, if you put your stop loss at right here, as you can see, that would be like 1-to-1. Essentially doing 3-to-1 because you enter here, you put your stop loss at 1 ATR. Honestly though, that would be very aggressive. But let's say you do that, then you take here would be your 3 ATR, you get your objective, you're happy, good to go, you made some money. The question would be like what to do next. I mean, if we look at the daily, we know when we drop back into, when we return to normal candlestick, this second candle right here is very, very convincing to the upside. This is telling us that, we want to go up. Like in an uptrend, if we have been going up for, half an hour, for a couple of days, and I see a green candle like this one, for example, I'd be like, I don't know. It's very scary because like it's coming at the end of a market, but this is coming as a result of breaking of a high. So it's very convincing. I'm not very surprised of this action. Here's another insight using Fibonacci retracements, that this point over here is not very random. So normally if I wanted to buy out the moving average there, I would think a little bit, because what I see is that I see the moving average, but I also see this high. And I also draw myself a Fibonacci and notice that I have 50% of that movement. 50% of that movement is 50% of that candle. Blue line. Oops, sorry, that's not the candle. What? Where does this candle start? Today starts? I'm a bit confused here. On the 3rd of March? Is the 3rd of March? That's not the 3rd of March. Oh, that is the 3rd of March from here, actually. Should be more specific. No, it's not. Oh, that candle. Damn it. It's not the cleanest. I was hoping for a 50% of that single candle, but, apparently that's not happening. But we definitely have a 50% of this new leg. And why do you do it this way? Because dropping back, Hypothetical is great to kind of see what the trend is doing. So you see that you have a lot of candles going up here, then you have a couple of threads. This is telling you have a new leg. Technically, this is where you want to be buying on an uptrend. Why? Because we have a moving average, the 21 that's up. We have the 89 that's up. We have the daily that's up. So you could actually buy and keep on buying and actually hope for maybe 50% retracement where you'd be breaking even. Sorry, this one is a bit of advanced topic, the one of like DCAing. But the point is that you could have put a limit order at this level, which is 235. Why? Because at 235, you have kind of a confluence of moving average into 50% into this. it would still be a bit risky. Honestly, in my experience, this candle right here is a bit of a lucky shot. Why? Because this is how many candles is that? That's like 10 candles, so in this case 10 hours of staying in circles. Not to mention that if you use again Fibonacci retracement, you notice that we've been hitting the 61.8 multiple times. So technically you would be shorting here, maybe taking some profit here, and then essentially you'd be going back long here again. But the problem is that it's a bit of a, you know, this is how scalping works. It's a bit aggressive. Like your reward for shorting here is here, and the upside is very painful because you can keep on going up. If you want to buy here, it's okay, but it's a little bit of a, you know, a tight one. The only reason to buy here is the Fibonacci, and that I'm not a big fan of it. So normally, you know, when I see the price not touching my moving average, I just would not want to, you know, take any position. But that doesn't say anything about where, and it doesn't change anything about the long-term direction of the price. Just to recap, the price just broke all-time highs very convincingly yesterday, which means that it's gonna go up. Now you could say that, oh, this could be like a swing failure over here, but I don't really think so. Usually when you have these big green candles, you have these movements. As a matter of fact, if you want to just be a bit superstitious and look at history, you might notice that we had very similar pattern over here, where we had, this is what the all-time high, it pulled back. Granted, it was a very shallow pullback, but this pullback is a pullback. And then it came above it, closed, did another big one, and then this green, this is red, sorry. As a matter of fact, here, actually, if you take your 50%, you would notice that it came all the way to, oops, to the 50%. Actually, this is essentially where this red candle was trying to go. It came to the 50%. So that's an example. This might be another example, but as long as, you know, the price is up, the price is up. And I would very doubt it that we would be climbing this and returning to it right now. We could, but the price action just said otherwise. Like this area here of consolidating, think of it this way. It just does 1, 2, right? It's more of an upward trend as far as I'm concerned. Now that's important. Like if you were to go long and you want to actually hold it, you want to have this one broken, because if you were long here and you want to hold, move stop to break even, because it's not going to be worth it for you to have had 3 to 1 and actually lose it all. Like that's a bit too bad. But at the same time, you don't want to move your stop over here, because it's not yet the confirmed level. Like this has not been tested. Now it was tested, and now there's another green candle. But until we break above 245, until we break above 250, you know, you want to be a bit, you know, calm and patient. And so if the price does break above 250, move your stop loss to here, and then at least you would have, you know, kept some money in your pocket, and you'd be happy. So that being said, I hope this analysis is useful for you. I believe that Solana is still on the way to go up. That's very convincing bull market. Pullbacks are pretty normal. There are ways of you to add into your basket of coins, and that's about it. This is it for today's show. Whatever you guys do, be safe out there and have fun. Bye bye.